Dappledsun felt the warmth drain from his pelt as the sun began to set. He had been waiting patiently outside the med den. Willowthorn was kidding. He hadn't heard much, but no news was good news, right? He was growing anxious. Featherhop solemnly stumbled over, his paws feeling heavy. Dappledsun, I'm so sorry, he started. His ears perked. Did Kit not survive? How was Willowthorn doing? What's wrong? He couldn't look him in the eyes, and instead stared at his paws. The kid is healthy, although Willowthorn didn't make it. She lost too much blood. He felt his body go stiff as the words washed over him. They rang in his head for a long moment before he was even able to speak. How? I didn't think. His gaze slowly drifted to the ground. I didn't know that was a risk. I didn't. He started to breathe heavily. If they'd never had kits, Willowthorn would be alive. Was this his fault? He quickly looked up, taking a step forward. I understand your grief, Dappledsun, but you mustn't fall apart yet. Remember, though, Willowthorn is gone. There's someone who still needs you. All he could think about was the loss. He hadn't considered what he'd gained. But was it worth it? Show me, please. Featherhop stayed silent, giving him a nod before turning around and leading Dappledsun towards the den. They're healthy, thanks StarClan. He stepped forward hesitantly. There was no queen to tell him what to do, or how to even interact with the kit. Would he hurt them? He took a breath. Dappledsun was named after the ray of sunlight that made its way through the tall trees of the forest, but now, with leafall, more sun was reaching the earth than normal. Autumn Kit, he mumbled. He looked to Featherhop, almost for a reassurance that he was supposed to be the one to name the kit. Featherhop nodded, though the Tom himself was uncertain. It wasn't like a medicine cat had any experience in raising kits. May StarClan guide your path. Despite his fears, he did know the clan had a queen. One queen. Where there was supposed to be two. He stepped forward and picked up Autumn Kit with a gentle maw. Thank you for everything. He tried to avoid any trace of spite in his tone. This wasn't Featherhop's fault. There was no one to blame. His eyes just looked, and then his head swiveled to the side up paw steps. Dappledsun! And a new friend! He laughed around the bird and his mom with glee, muffled highs and hellos escaping him. His tail twitched dismissively. Darkdeer faltered for a moment, his head then lowered. Bird? He let out a huff and turned away. Prickleberry, how are your kits? He spoke through Autumn Kit's fur.
Don't eat leaves, I swear to StarClan. She looked at Dappledsun, and then to the kid in his maw. Where's Willowthorn? She mewed without missing a beat.
His pupils thinned. Did nobody else know? Blood loss from kidding. It still didn't seem real.
She paused for a few moments, looking uncertain. Then she wrapped her towel around her kids protectively, frowning. And who will care for your kit? Pricklebelly murmured.
You're the only queen with milk, he murmured bluntly. Trust me, I don't want to leave you with another kit. I would much prefer Autumn Kit be at Willowthorn's belly.
The queen nodded, though her gaze was icy. I'll nurse them then. As if she didn't have enough to deal with.
I'll leave you alone as much as I can. I promise. Thank you. He patted over and gently laid Autumn Kit among the pile of other kits. Autumn Kit looked so out of place next to the others.
She gently cleaned the kit before realizing that Dappledsun was still here. You can go now. The kids won't be able to sleep with you here.
Right. It was hard for him to take his eyes off his kit. He shuffled aimlessly around the prey pile. He'd usually share with Willowthorn. He grabbed something small. Dappledsun, she said while sitting down. I'm so sorry for your loss. Featherhop told you. He nodded slightly. It's okay. It wasn't. Dappledsun, I will be relieving you of your duties so you can care for Autumn Kit. I thank you for your services. He blinked. What? The last thing he wanted was to stop being a warrior. It's the only thing he had to distract him from this. You will be a dendad for the kit, she stated more clearly. He thought Pricklebelly would do enough, but Willowthorn wouldn't want him to abandon his kit like that. Okay. Lovely to hear. I will approve of your role once every cat has had their share. Good day, Dappledsun. He dipped his head. He took a deep breath and carried his frog to the nursery. He sat a fair distance away, chewing on the frog.
Autumn Kit noticed Dappledsun walking in, not immediately, but pretty quickly. Dappledsun! They yipped excitedly, running over with their tail held high.
Dappledsun scooped the kit close to his chest for her in a hug. Hi! He chuckled at the kit's excitement.
As soon as Autumn Kit got up, she seized her chance. Come on, birdies, let's go to the clearing.
They purred louder than you'd ever expect from a kit.
How have the other kits been treating you? He let out a purr as he spoke.
I'm not sure, but I know I missed you, they exclaimed, pawing upwards at Dappledsun's fluffy chest.
His eyes softened. This wasn't so bad. I'll be in here a lot more. You don't have to huddle next to Pricklebelly anymore, he chuckled.
You could see how their eyes grew larger, like two pools of innocence. Really? Sitting up, they almost interrupt themselves with their purring. That makes me so happy.
Let's go get some sun. He nudged Autumn Kit out of the nest with his nose.
Stumbling out of the den, they tried to keep up with their father's much larger steps, so much so they didn't realize that he had stopped, so Autumn Kit managed to trip and tumble down the slope.
Dappledsun's ears perked, but instead of worry, a laugh emerged from his maw. You've got my foolishness.
My paws are too big, they complained, then immediately got distracted. I'm hungry. Can we get some fresh kill?
Walk those large paws of yours to the pile, then, he teased lightly. I'll be close behind.
They walked tail high like they owned the place. Following the smell of fresh prey, they bounded over to the pile.
Well, these kits sleep well through the night. It's Autumn Kit who's a problem, she hissed.
Dappledsun shot a look at Pricklebelly.
Look at this mouth, they purred, muffled through the mouse.
They're restless, noisy, and poorly mannered, just like their father. It makes my job as a mother more difficult, nursing that one.
Hello, my mouth, they squeaked, upset that they weren't being paid attention to.
Knowing Autumn Kit didn't hear, he chose to ignore Pricklebelly's insult. Let's go to the other side of the clearing, so you can eat.
Alright. They nodded, excited to eat this whole mouse by themselves. They even did a few happy circles before settling down to start tearing into the mouse.
Pricklebelly's kits haven't had their first prey yet, he subtly mocked.
Licking their lips, Autumn Kit started cleaning their maw, whiskers, and paws. They had to take many bites, but they did manage to eat the entire thing.
Dappledsun swept the remains of the mouse under the dirt. Good job!
Can we play? They purred. I saw Night Kit and Beetle Kit play this thing called Moss Ball, they purred, tapping from one paw to the other.
Do you want to play with me, or the other kits? He tilted his head.
I think you could throw the ball so much further than Night Kit, and it throws further than all of us, they gasped in awe.
True, he chirped. He liked how confident Autumn Kit was in his own abilities. Go grab some moss from Featherhop's den.
She spotted Dappledsun and waved her kits off. Go and play some more. I've got to talk to our den mate.
Prickle-belly, he greeted, open-minded.
She spun around, sitting with her tail neatly over her paws. She watched the kits attacking Dark Deer, purring. Look at them, they're perfect, aren't they? What warriors they'll become.
He dipped his head. The next generation of warriors will be strong, thanks to you.
She turned to Dappledsun, giving him a strained smile. I plan on it. It's my job as a mother. And I feel as though I should be helping you out. For example, did you know Autumn Kid is much too young to be eating solid food? I thought you'd know this already, but sometimes I forget that you're just a Tom. This life isn't meant for you, Prickle-belly mewed icily.
Your kids have the luxury of having a mother, he snapped defensively.
They purred, walking up to Dappledsun, completely oblivious. Moth! They chirped.
That took you a while, he purred, realizing Autumnkit probably couldn't reach the shelf the moss was stored on.
I'll leave you be. She got to her paws, lashing her tail.
I got it all by myself, they nodded, dropping it next to Dapplesun's tail.
He scooped the moss up with a claw. You continue to surprise me. He flicked his paw, sending the ball flying to the other side of the clearing.
With their pupils growing large, they zipped after the ball, almost tumbling over themselves as they pounced on it.
He let out a sigh. Soon, they'd be an apprentice, and Dappledsun would be back to his warrior duties. But this wasn't so bad.
Proudly carrying it back like a trophy, Autumnkit purred.
He licked the cat on the head. Let's go get some sleep. You can keep the moss ball for tomorrow.
Aw, but you only threw it once, they sniffled, looking down at the moss ball longingly.
That means you can use all that energy of yours tomorrow, when we can play for longer. He stood and nudged Autumnkit forward.
With a big, dramatic sigh, they got up and followed their father.
He let out a relief sigh now that Autumnkit was nearing sleep. He lay down.
They curled up tightly on Dappledsun's tail, purring like a motorized saw blade. Not that any cat knew what that was. Waking up early with a yawn, they padded out of the den, intent on finding someone to play with.
Dappledsun woke up soon after, curious to find his kit missing from the nest.
Ow! They winced at the hard shove. Wait, that...
Dappledsun lifted his head, seeing his kit be shoved by the much larger kits. She grinned, pinning the smaller kit down. Got you! Did it hurt? Oh, it seemed shocked. We win! Hey! He patted up. ShadowClan is safe from this menace.
Autumnkit whimpered, the paws pushing them down felt quite rough.
Are you okay? It asked. She looked up at Dappledsun, ears angling back. Get off! He hissed, stepping over Autumnkit and forcing the others to back off. Sorry, we didn't mean to hurt them that badly, it trailed. We were having fun, don't be like that.
Autumn choked back tears as they licked their fluff to mask the fact the shoves really hurt them.
She looked at the pitiful kit, scrunching her nose a little.
Prickle-belly patted out after seeing Dappledsun standing off against her kids. What in StarClan's name is going on? Why are you harassing my kids?
Why aren't you watching them? He snapped back. They were pushing around Autumnkit like some toy.
It's okay. We were just playing, Autumnkit mumbled, not wanting to feel like they had to be protected by their father.
See? Autumnkit's okay with it. We were just playing. For her own sake, she hoped Autumnkit wasn't seriously hurt. Oh no, that'd be bad. I don't really see a problem here.
She looked from Dappledsun to her kids and then back to Dappledsun. Looks like they were just playing. Even Autumnkit sounds fine with it. She tilted her nose up, huffing.
I guess we can't play with Autumn Kit anymore if they're gonna keep being sad like that, she huffed, disappointed.
Well, Autumn Kit doesn't need to be mothered, she snapped, flicking her tail. Oh, wait. Sorry. Pricklebelly mewed slyly.
Dappledsun's fur rose. Maybe if your kits had a proper father, they wouldn't feel the need to bully other kits.
The queen snarled, turning to her kits. Come on, these two aren't worth your time. Let's go.
Dappledsun stepped forward and then lowered himself. Are you okay?
I hate being so small, they almost sobbed, burying their face into Dappledsun's shoulder. I just want to play with the other kits.
You can play with them. They just don't know how to play right. It isn't your fault. He nuzzled on him, Kit. Get your pelt clean. I'm gonna hunt something fresh for you, okay?
Alright, they murmured, then perking their ears. Can you catch me a rabbit? Their eyes gleamed with excitement. All that sadness washed away in an instant.
Rabbits don't usually stray into Shadowclan territory, but if I see one, consider it yours. He dipped his head and patted away. The further into the forest he got, the heavier his paws felt, until eventually he was just dragging himself along. Usually he'd be running through the forest with Willowthorn and stopping here for a drink, play in the puddle together for a while, then get scolded by Featherhop for risking a cold. He didn't have time to think about what happened. He had to be there for Autumn Kit, but now the world was quiet and he was left alone with his grief. It was overwhelming.
Sunblaze padded confidently, his head held high and his maw slightly open to catch any scent of prey. His stride was only broken when he noticed Dappledsun sitting near that small body of water. Dappledsun, the Tom greeted warmly, his orange eyes scanning the expression of the other Tom, yet not wanting to pry, he kept his concerns to himself. Good seeing you outside of camp again.
He winced at the unwelcome company. I thought it would be good for me, but being in the nursery let me avoid what I'd lost. Now I'm stuck in the middle of it.
Dipping his head low, he stayed silent for a moment, out of respect. I'm truly sorry for your loss. Willowthorn is dearly missed by all of us, but of course you had a special connection to her.
Autumn Kit has helped, but they never knew her. They have no idea what they lost that day. Only I carry that. It's lonely in more ways than one. Everything kept moving. Everyone just kept going. But I'm still here.
You're strong, more than you know, he said. But you deserve time to grieve, and you deserve to feel vulnerable. Sunblaze sat a little closer, yet not close enough to touch Pelts. He wanted to leave that decision up to Dappledsun.
He still felt Fox links away from Sunblaze, even with the close distance. No cat could truly understand how he felt in this moment. He didn't even understand it. I constantly wonder what she would have wanted. Is she happy that Autumn Kit survived? Or does she long to be here with me too? Does she regret this? Regret me?
I can't tell you what she would have wanted, but I can tell you that she's with you. Deep in your heart, she's guiding your actions. He flicked the tip of his tail. Nobody could regret being with a Tom as dedicated as you are.
I feel like I shouldn't even be sad, he chuckled in a moment of self-doubt. She lost more than me. She doesn't even get to see her kit grow up.
You know that's not true, he gently opposed. Autumn Kit loves you. I can see that from every time I've seen you two in camp. And no, Willowthorn can see it too, from up there. He lifted his head upwards.
I hope so. He lifted a paw and shoveled his neck fur in a self-comforting gesture. It was starting to get easier to breathe. I don't deserve this peace.
You deserve to feel comfortable, he said. You've lost more than most of us ever receive in the first place. He finally closed the gap and comfortingly pressed his nose against the other Tom's forehead.
He accepted the embrace, sobbing silently to himself. It's okay, he assured himself. But Autumn Kit was waiting for him. He pulled away, his mind fresh. The ceremony. I need to get back to camp.
Just know, I always have an open ear for you, he assured.
Yes, he nodded, fumbling a bit. Thank you. He padded in a rush, finding Autumn Kit in the crowd. Little cats old enough to lurk in the shadows gather around the shade rock for a clan meeting.
Purring, they lift their head to nuzzle against their father. I thought you'd miss my ceremony. They chuckled, softly, knowing that he would never miss it in a million moons.
He wrapped his tail around Autumn Kit. I would trade the world just to be here.
I know, because you're the best father anyone could ever ask for, they said, quietly, not to interrupt the ceremony.
He swallowed the sadness that washed over him from Autumn Kit's words. It was bittersweet. ShadowClan has been blessed with 5 more apprentices. Night Kit, Talon Kit, Rook Kit, Beetle Kit, and lastly, Autumn Kit. Night Kit, you'll be known as Nightpaw. Your mentor will be Tawny Shade. May Tawny Shade pass down what they learned from their own mentor. Talon Kit, you'll be known as Talonpaw. Your mentor will be Silvermaw.
Bricklebelly stared at her kits, gleaming with pride and joy. Not only was she proud of them, but she was also relieved to get back to the warrior's den.
Rook Kit, you will be known as Rookpaw. Your mentor will be Darkdeer. Beetle Kit, you will be known as Beetlepaw. You will be my apprentice. And lastly, Autumn Kit, you will be known as Autumpaw. Your mentor will be Ashengaze.
Excitedly, they padded up to the large warrior to touch noses with him. Finally, they were going to be an apprentice. Finally, they'd learn how to fight and hunt.
Ashengaze's eyes widened. Him? A mentor? He leaned down to boop his new apprentice.
They could barely contain their purring. I promise to be the best apprentice ever.
He smiled down at Autumpaw. She paused for a moment before continuing. Last announcement before we end this meeting. Dappledsun, you will be resorting back to your warrior duties. His gaze drifted back up to Petalstar. Actually, Petalstar, he stepped up. He swallowed nervously. I wanted to remain as a dendad, for other kits who have lost a parent or two. I've found my place here. She stood up, her tail flicked. Very well, if that is what you wish, then I will allow you to stay as a dendad. He dipped his head. Thank you, Petalstar. Not to mention, the nursery would be a lot more manageable with Bricklebelly gone. He patted toward Autumpaw. Treat them well, please. He nodded to Ashengaze. His kit was now this warrior's responsibility.
I'm going to hunt so many mice and squirrels and rabbits and birds for you, they chirped, coming up and pressing their face into Dappledsun's pelt one more time.
Ashengaze nodded to Dappledsun. I will, he promised. He was going to teach Autumpaw everything he knew. I'm proud of you. And of himself. He did it. Autumpaw would be fine.